David Calvert here with another Monday Marriage Minute. We've been talking about Until Death Do Us Part, and we talked last week about the extended illness of a spouse and how challenging that can be for someone to be in the role of being a husband or a wife and also trying to be a caretaker for the person that you love. It can be very, very challenging. I've been down that road myself. I've also been down the road of losing a spouse. My first wife, Carla, and I were married for 34 years, and she passed away in February of 2016 after being sick with a pulmonary disease for a couple of years. And it's very, very difficult. My wife Diana has also lost a spouse, her husband Don. They were married for a long time, and he died when he was just 50 years old. Carla was only 51 when she died. So Diana and I have both been down the road of losing a spouse earlier in life than was planned. It's one thing, for a husband or a wife to bury a spouse after they've been married 60, 65 years or more. It's still a challenge for them. It's still difficult. My dad passed away after he and my mom had been married for 65 years, almost 66 years, and it was still tough on my mom, and she still is adjusting. She's 92 now and still adjusting to the loss of my dad. But when you lose a spouse in midlife or pre-retirement years, especially if it's, very unexpected, it's very, very challenging and very difficult. I would say probably the only thing that might be worse than losing a spouse would be losing a child. Thank God I've not had to experience that, but I have experienced the death of a spouse, burying a spouse, and the years that followed that were very, very challenging for me. So if you're in that situation where you've recently lost your spouse, I would just encourage you to do several things. One is take your time and to process the grief and deal with the loss. Don't be afraid to be alone. It's very easy in the loneliness to get busy and to get caught up in a lot of activity and being around a lot of people. That's a mistake that I made. I didn't take some time to just really be by myself and alone with my thoughts. And I did go to grief counseling. I went to a very good grief support group. I would highly recommend that. I would encourage that. The grief support group at Floral Haven in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is outstanding. It's excellent. It's a clinically evidence-based grief support program. I highly recommend that. It's offered 3 times a year. But take the time to deal with the loss and to get comfortable in your own skin, being by yourself again before you even think about pursuing relationships. We'll talk about that more in the weeks to come. If you're struggling with the loss of a spouse, if you're struggling with the illness of a spouse, if you're struggling in any way in your marriage relationship, I can help. You can find out more about me at davidcalvertlpc.com. Until next time, this has been Monday Marriage Minute. God bless you.